Hello and welcome to this video on spiritual training. My name is SIfu Perhacs. I'm going to be taking you through this information. I think you're going to get a great deal of information about this. I'm going to go over a little bit of an intro, and then I'm also going to touch on enlightenment and how that works out. But what is spiritual training? As I mentioned before, it's getting back in touch with your spirit and recognizing it as you. Oftentimes we go through life and we look at our body and think that our body is us. It's not. It's the spirit within. And not a spirit where a lot of people talk about, oh, he's got a wonderful spirit. No, I'm talking about that actual spirit that resides inside of your body that is you. And I know that's a hard concept for some people to understand. That's the real you. That's the real essence of who you are. And through this training, you're going to be able to understand that a little bit better. And it's going to allow you to be able to have a better understanding of who you are, why you're here, and all those types of things. Actually, it'll probably bring up more questions than it'll answer more questions. But by the same token, I think you'll feel a satisfaction that you understand that you are a spirit being, which is pretty interesting. Spiritual training is enlightenment, spiritual meditations, kundalini, third eye opening, astral projection, out-of-body experiences, psychic eyes or remote viewing, lucid dreaming, seeing, hearing spirits or entities, and many other concepts, which obviously I'll go into a lot more detail in the Total System 2.0. But I do want you to understand, I'm going to go through each one of these concepts so you get a better understanding of what that means. And in this video, obviously we did a little introduction here. I'm going to talk a little bit about enlightenment and give you an understanding of what that might mean to you or to somebody else. But enlightenment, it really means different things to different people. And I've talked to hundreds, if not thousands, of people over the years since I've been doing this. People calling just interested, individuals that were actually clients, individuals that were instructors or what have you. And everyone has this different concept of enlightenment. Because until you experience it, you don't know what it is. I mean, I could say that I'm enlightened, but I might not be more enlightened than you are, or vice versa. And so it really comes down to the individual. To me, it's an act of knowing that you're a spirit and that you understand that, you know, the body's temporary and that for however long you have on this particular plane of existence, it's temporary, but that your spirit lives on. And that's a comforting thought. You know, it doesn't matter what, you know, religious persuasion you're at, you know you're a spirit. Now, the question is, what happens, you know, when the body dies? Where does the spirit go? And, you know, there's a lot of questions like that I don't really have all the answers to. I have answers based on my convictions, but they may not be the same things that are you. But enlightenment can be wonderful or it can be frightening at the same time. Because it's something that, you know, as you go through it, as you experience it, you just might, it depends which kind of door to enlightenment you open. Sometimes you open up a door and it's really nice. You know, the angels are playing harps and it's you know, really wonderful. And then another time you open up enlightenment door and you're enlightened, but it's, you know, like Fright Night. And so it's kind of strange. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people are like, hey, I just want to experience it. I don't care if I'm frightened. Well, I've had people that we've trained that have been so frightened that they just stopped the training. They didn't like what they saw on the other side of the door. And that's why it must be coaxed, not forced. And what I mean by that is that everyone wants everything fast. I mean, if I had a dime for everybody that called and said, how, you know, can you teach me how to open up my third eye today? You know, I would be a multi-millionaire, because people, that's one of the top questions. You know, how can I do that? How can I experience everything right now? And there are ways that you can speed up the process, but there's also ways that you can do it in a relaxed fashion so that when it does happen, that you have more control. Would you rather be out of control or in control? That's what it comes down to. And sometimes enlightenment just is really like everything working together, and it's usually comes out of relaxation. A lot of what we're going to be talking about here in the spiritual training comes down to relaxation, getting the physical body relaxed, getting your mind relaxed, and being able to get it in that right perspective so that you can actually pull off some of these techniques. So enlightenment, bottom line, is that it really depends on a definition that, you know, is in your mind. It's also a definition of where you're at the time. And, you know, you're constantly getting better and better. I think I do have a level of enlightenment right now. There's no question about it. And the thing is, I know that as I get older, it's going to be even greater enhanced. I'm going to have better sensitivity. I'm going to understand a lot more powerful things. So it's not a stagnant or static type thing. It's a growing type of enlightenment. It's not just the doors open and you're there. It's more of a journey than a destination, if that makes sense. Hopefully this information made sense to you, and I'll be back with the next video. So long.